Hey everybody, Mark Johnson here, founder and creative director of Able Studios, back again with another vlog. This is vlog number 32, and I'm doing a little something different this time around. I think I mentioned that in the last vlog, is that I would try to do something that was a little bit more content that was helpful to other people, other freelancers, other people doing the same thing I'm doing, or adventuring in the same area that I'm adventuring. And what I'm going to do today is share with you an article that will give you some tips on how to be more productive as a freelancer. I read this article a while back, and it was very helpful to me when I was starting out and kind of spreading my wings in the area of being a freelancer. And I revisited it to share this video blog with you today, and it's called 8 Productivity Tips for Freelancers. It's written by Trevor Dobrygoski. He's a freelance copywriter, and obviously he's writing from experience, and yeah, I'd like to share that with you today. And so getting right into it. So the number one tip to being more productive as a freelancer is to get it on the calendar. Set yourself a schedule. Starting out for myself, I didn't do this, and it was an eye-opener in the sense when I started doing it, or read this article and I started doing it, because setting a schedule for yourself gives you the opportunity to know what you have going for the month. I'm not saying that you need to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not saying you need to work 10 hours a day. I'm not saying any of those kind of things. Set your schedule that works best for you. If you're an early riser, set your schedule so that you can take advantage of that. If maybe you're not, set your schedule for that as well. But setting a schedule, putting things on a calendar, allows you to know what you have ahead and to work with that. Gives you a little bit of pressure to kind of make sure that you're working, that you're getting things done. But I think at the same time, setting a schedule is really more about giving you a much opportunity to know and to work within the things that you have set for yourself to get done within, a month, the week, day to day. So that's the importance of setting a schedule, getting it down. An added note to that would be, there is a law, the Parkinson's law, which states work expands to the amount of time available to get it done. So in a sense, when you're setting your schedule, you want to set your schedule to the best of your ability so that you are getting things done in least amount of time. If you have a blog post to get done in a day, yeah, you'll probably get it done in a day, but you could probably get that same blog post done within a couple hours if you push yourself to get it done in a couple hours. So you can either expand it or you can shrink it to a certain amount of time and get that same amount of work done. The second tip to being a more productive freelancer is to find your sweet spot. Find the time of day within your schedule where you're most productive, where you feel the most alive. In that sense, and scheduling things around that time will allow you to be the best person you can possibly be, because you're getting work done when you're most alert, when you're most focused. And so understanding your sweet spot is understanding when you're most productive throughout a day or day to day, and scheduling work to get it done at that time. Because if you're, say example, your best time is afternoon, and you're setting a client meeting for later in the evening, when you're grumpy or when you're not as focused, it's going to possibly put you in a tough situation. So you want to maybe set that meeting around the time when you're most alert, most focused, most best to be around, and set that client meeting and get it done. All right, the third tip for productivity for freelancers is to focus on one thing at a time. I know a lot of us say that we can, multitask, and then, we do it, but we're not necessarily fully engaged in one thing or another. But if we have only one attention span, and we're dividing over 2 projects, those 2 projects are really only getting half of our attention and half of our effort at a time. And so if you have a project, or you have a client, or you have just things that you need to get done, focus on one thing at a time, give it your full attention so that you can do the best work that you can possibly do for whatever it is that you're working on at the time. So remember, one thing at a time. Tip number four leads through from tip number 3, and that is to cut out distractions. As a freelancer early on, being that I was working from home, I kind of really had to play as I had to play, whether I had distractions or not. When I started getting to the point where I was really getting more focused in and wanting to get things done more in a timely fashion, I had to start cutting distractions out. And there's plenty of apps out there right now that will help you do that, being that we have we have phones, devices, we have computers, all these kind of things that are, in a sense, can be distractions when we're supposed to be focusing on work. So you can use these apps like Rescue Time, Cold Turkey, Inbox Pause to help you cut out some of those distractions. There's other distractions that may be out there as well. For example, if you live at home and you have roommates, isolate yourself. Give yourself the space that you need to kind of focus on. Close the door. Let your roommates know or your family members know that you are working these hours a day and that you do not want to be disturbed. Put a do not disturb sign on your door. However it may be, you want to cut out distractions so that you can give the work that you're working on your best. Alright, so tip number 5. Tip number 5 is to automate. Now, I'm not necessarily talking to automate like, automate your bills or anything like that. I'm talking about automate those menial tasks, things that you're doing over and over again, possibly for numerous clients or numerous products, whatever it may be, but automate it. One of the things that I learned in this step was when I was writing emails, I would rewrite the email over and over again. But at a certain point, I started just the guts of the email. I would save that and then put it in a file on my desktop, in a folder, and then when I needed to come back to it, I would come back to it and then just tailor, or personalize it to the person that I was sending it to, so that I wasn't having to rewrite the whole email or redo the whole form or redo the whole list, whatever it may be. Find ways to automate those kind of little steps so you can save yourself some time and be more productive. So tip number 6 is, what's it gonna cost? And this was another great tip that I learned from this article. When you know what something costs, you understand how you can get it. You can understand what time it's going to take you and the things you have to do to receive it. An example of this would be, in a sense, there was an app that I wanted to get. Actually, the app was Grammarly, and it was to help me with my writing, to give me an opportunity to write better and also have someone correct it. And I wanted to purchase the pro level of it, and so what I did is I kind of just thought about what that would cost me in client work, and be it a logo or be it an art piece, whatever it may be, to get me that cash to get that Grammarly subscription. And so I thought about it and I was like, well, it's going to take me possibly a logo and maybe, a simple art piece to sell to kind of get the cash to pay for it. And so looking at it like that, then it was a lot more feasible. Another way to look at it is, for example, you have this goal of achieving a certain amount of money in a year. What you can do is take that amount, whatever amount it is that you would like to make within a year, break it down into 52 weeks. So there's 52 weeks within a year. So divide that by 52. Once you get that number, you want to divide it by the number of days that you're working in a week. If I'm working 6 days a week, maybe you're working the same, maybe you're working 5. You want to divide that and take that number, divide it, and now you know what you need to make day by day to achieve making the number that you want to make within a year. And then once you get to that bottom number, that base number, you can understand, okay, well, I need to make a couple client calls to kind of, logos. I need to do some art pieces. I need to do some other designs over here and do a photo shoot. Whatever it may be, it's giving you the opportunity to break it down into more usable bits that you can actually crunch that and see what you can do over time to reach the number that you're trying to make within a year. So that's kind of what you want to do by knowing what the cost is going to be. The number seven tip to be more productive as a freelancer is keep your place tidy. It's really a simple thing to do, but I know a lot of us over time can let our place or let our space get untidy, and that takes up time. I mean, especially if you are constantly working on things, having an untidy space can be detrimental to creating good work, because you're always retidying your space over and over, taking up time from your projects or the work that you're doing. So if you keep a tidy space, you will be more focused, you'll have more time, and at the same time, if you're actually meeting people in your space, clients and such in your space, and your place is untidy, it's going to unconsciously say to them that this person is not to be taken seriously. So if you keep it in a tidy space, I'm not telling you to be a minimalist or anything like that. I'm just saying keep it tidy, presentable, putting things back where they need to go. Once you use them, it will help you in the long run. And especially if you're meeting with clients, you want to keep it tidy so that it presents to them that you're someone that should be worked with, and that's someone that's going to present work or create work that's definitely up to their level. And lastly, tip number 8 on how to be more productive as a freelancer is to remember to sell yourself. And this was a tip that early on for myself I wasn't necessarily using. I was just hoping that work would just come. I figured that I would do this for one person or do this work for one person, and I'll just get another opportunities along the way. And it's not always like that. Sometimes you gotta actually go out there and network, post flyers, create lists of people who might be interested in the work that you do, and share that. And so you want to also put this on your calendar sometime so that you can block time to sell yourself, market yourself. What I'm doing for myself is I'm putting out flyers, so there's one thing. I'm also creating a network of people who are interested in the work that I do, and I'm putting out business cards. I'm going to events that or industry events that reflect the things that I would like to be doing, be it photography, artwork, design, logo, branding, those kind of things, and putting myself out there in those areas. And that's helping me gain work. The flyers are, in a sense, in places where people are seeing them, hot spots, and I'm creating them and wording them the way that's going to create business for me. So over time, I've been able to use that process and get phone calls from people that just saw my flyer. Someone saw the work that I did for someone else, so that's word of mouth. It's just kind of one of those processes that you have to do as a freelancer to kind of gain work, because if no one knows about you, they're not going to come to you to do the work for them. So it's just kind of part of the process, and so you do have to spend time selling yourself. So block that on your calendar. Maybe on this day you do all your marketing, and then the rest of the week you're working with clients and you're working on content or other projects. And so it's just kind of really all part of the process of being a freelancer. And there you have it, 8 productivity tips for freelancers by freelance copywriter Trevor Dobrygoski. Hopefully they've been helpful to you. They've been helpful to me in the sense that I've been using these steps or these 8 tips in my process for a while now. When I started out, the number 1 tip was setting a schedule. That was kind of the biggest thing for me. Everything else was kind of next level, kind of leading up to knowing what it's going to cost. I think that was another great tip that in my process I've learned, and it's been helpful to me in my business as a freelancer, and hopefully they can be helpful to you as well. And so hope everyone is off to a great week, and definitely stay tuned for more vlog from this channel. And like we always do this time, have a blessed day. See you on the flip side. Let's go.